In today's lesson, we will explore the EPOCH-TO-DATE function and why it might be useful to you. But to make everything clear, let's start from the very beginning. In 1969, engineers Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie from Bell Labs were developing the Unix operating system. By the way, Bell Labs is now part of Nokia. Unix, in its original form, is no longer used, but its legacy lives on in many modern operating systems. So, they were faced with the question, how should a computer keep track of time in a simple and efficient way? They concluded that the best solution was to count seconds from a specific date. The most convenient zero date and the start of the new decade was January 1st, 1970. So this became the starting point for time measurement. Today, when working with reports in Google Sheets generated from various databases, you may encounter dates that are not in the usual month, day, year format, but rather a number that doesn't initially make sense. This could be a 10-digit number, which represents the number of seconds that have passed since January 1st, 1970, for example, like the one you see on the screen. It could also be a 13-digit number, which represents the number of milliseconds since January 1st, 1970. You can see an example on the screen. Although rare, timestamps can also be in microseconds, 16 digits, as shown on the screen. This raises the question, how do you process, filter, sort, and interpret these timestamps to understand when an event occurred? The scenarios can vary. You might receive a sales report where dates are in this format, a bank statement, cryptocurrency transaction report, or an export from Google Analytics might also contain timestamps. In general, this situation is quite common. So, we arrive at our main topic. We need a function that can handle this conversion for us, and that function is EPOCH-TO-DATE, which literally converts an epoch timestamp, Unix epoch, into a readable date. Let's look at a simple example. In front of us, there is a table with 4 columns. The first column contains descriptions, listing timestamps in seconds, 10 digits, milliseconds, 13 digits, microseconds, 16 digits. The second column contains values, displaying timestamps in seconds, milliseconds, and microseconds. The third column contains the formula, which we will use to convert the timestamps into a human-readable format. The fourth column contains the result, which is the expected readable date. First, let's examine the function itself. In cell C2, we start typing the function name. As we see, the main arguments of this function are timestamp, the cell containing the date value; time unit, an optional argument that can be 1, 2, or 3. 1 means time is in seconds, default. 2 means time is in milliseconds. 3 means time is in microseconds. In our first row, the time is given in seconds, so we simply enter the cell reference for the timestamp and press Enter. For the next timestamp, we again start typing the formula. We specify the cell with the timestamp and set time unit to 2 for milliseconds. Press Enter, and we get the correct result. As you might have guessed, for the third row, we follow the same approach but select time unit 3, press Enter, and we successfully get the correct date. Now, you can easily convert timestamps into a human-readable date format. So, if you encounter reports where the date column contains strange numbers, you won't have any difficulties and will be able to quickly process them. The EPOCH-TO-DATE function is a simple and effective way to handle timestamps in Google Sheets. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was useful to you.